Welcome to SDS, Skin Deep Stories. We're your hosts, Mel and
Kirsten.
And today's topic is something that's super important.
A little bit of a touchy one.
Touchy one, and something that's not talked about enough, kind of taboo. So it's worth every penny, the price of permanence. Yeah. Why tattoos cost what they do.
Taking taboo out of tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So why some tattoos cost so much? Why, like, what goes into the pricing?
Yeah.
All of that stuff.
All the stuff around money and tattoos.
Yeah.
So not just us, but pricing.
Yeah, no one likes to talk about it. It's weird. And, like, for tipping now, too, like, it's...
The lines so we're going to do our best to cover it all. And we're not trying to insult anybody. No. We're just, like...
There's always zero judgment, like, when we're talking.
But, yeah, money and tattoos is kind of a big conversation. It is, one, it's how we make our income. But I don't think people necessarily realize what the breakdown is. And we used to be able to walk into the old shops and you could get a tattoo for $50, $70. That is not the case anymore. You can't walk into a grocery store and buy butter for under $6 now. So,
yeah. So if you do, like, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
So what's our favorite line?
Yeah. Good tattoos aren't cheap and cheap tattoos aren't good. So if someone, like, we always say, like, oh, I know someone who could do it cheaper. Can you do it for $50? Can you do it for, just, art cartridges are so expensive. So, like.
We'll talk about the pricing of materials, just the cost of a machine.
Yeah, so we can start there. The pricing of, like, okay, we'll start with the drawing.
We have there's so many things around this that, like, it's really hard to kind of narrow down where to start.
So we have our prices. Some charge by the hour, some charge by the piece.
Let's start right there.
Or by day. So.
Yeah, so what we see the most often in the industry is basically... some will quote you on the piece. So let's say the piece is done, they will quote you on how much it'll cost to do that piece. There's no hourly rate. It's just for this piece, this is what the cost is going to be.
Yeah.
We don't do that much at our shop. We're technically kind of supposed to, but I think because of the way we work, we have the kind of hourly breakdown of if it's going to take me 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. Because if I quote you on a piece and I say, let's say $500, let's say it's $500, but then it takes me a lot more hours because we change details or we change size or we change location, then I'm technically making $11 an hour by the end of it, if depending on. So there's that balance between making sure that it's reasonable for our clients, reasonable for us as well to cover the materials, cover our time, and you and I don't charge draw time.
No.
That's the other thing that we need to talk about a little bit is some people do and some people don't. Yeah. So there's a little bit of a fluctuation.
So, and we take deposits. Obviously, that's something else that is important. It always, like, your artist should be taking a deposit because if you bail at the last second, it covers their time and it protects your appointment too.
So this is kind of big. So this is a big one that I think. And it's funny because we're going, once again, like a little off tangent. But
it has to do with, like...
We are at the mercy of every client's life. Mm-hmm. So I've had clients have to cancel the morning of because their kid is sick.
Yeah.
Or they have to cancel because of car trouble. Or they have to cancel because... But here's the problem. Let's say that day was one of my big paydays that week. It was a big piece we were doing. It was a full day piece. It's 8 hours of my day. And they bail for whatever reason. And that happens. Life happens. I get it. But then I'm out my pay for that day. So I'm at the mercy of everybody else's sick days.
And I think for the most part, people understand that. Like, people everywhere ask for deposits now.
Yeah, so people understand that. But even the deposit or the down payment is not necessarily enough to cover what my day would be.
No, of course not.
So let's say you leave a $100 down payment. That secures your date. Okay, so that's going to, for our shop, let's talk about where we work, that secures your date. So that's means,
like our drawing kind of deposit also?
So as soon as that's put down, that's where we can start drawing towards whatever the piece is, because I don't have time to draw for free. We just don't. So once it is confirmed, that's when I can start drawing or start building my pieces for that. Then that's taken off the total of the tattoo. So that's not an additional fee. No. So it's not like it's a draw. We can't really call it a drawing fee because we're not taking that fee to put towards the time. It's deducted from the total. Yeah. So included in what we've quoted you is all of our drawing time, all of the preparation time, all of the communication, then the tattoo itself. And what people don't realize is people time it from the time they sit down with the needle in the skin to the time we finish that, and they go, oh, well, it was 4 hours.
We were there early setting up.
I'm like, okay, but my setup, my takedown, my printing, the re-stencil, I'm still working. It's still work time.
Yeah.
And when
so there's a lot that happens behind the scenes that people don't realize, like in most industries.
Yeah. But I don't charge for the hours I'm drawing until 11 o'clock at night or midnight or getting up at 5:30 to draw or to fix something. Yeah. We don't have hourly rates for that.
So that's why some people's hourly rates who are high, that could be a reason.
What's the longest you've ever spent on a drawing? Just out of curiosity.
Days.
Days. So I've spent, I think, upwards of 30 hours on certain drawings where just tweaking, fixing, balancing, like 30 hours. Yeah. That's non-paid 30 hours. That's just 30 hours we put in to make sure that it's exactly, but we don't charge for that. And people don't see that part. Yeah. I think people figure now, because of all the tools and technology that we have that help with what we do, that it's just, oh, you're just putting it on me. No. Yeah. Like, I've done so much custom stuff that really takes that time. So when we quote, let's say, per hour, like, some of that is taken into consideration. And again, like hairdressing, like a lot of places, what we're charging you is not what we get in our pocket. No.
So let's talk about that. Yeah. Like, renting.
This is all the stuff that's really touchy to talk about, but let's put it out there.
Renting a chair versus, or like renting your spot at a shop versus like at our shop.
It's a percentage.
It's a percentage. So right away, let's say your tattoo is $100. Yep. Right away, $20 gets taken off for materials.
Yep. So there's a materials cost. Yeah. So right away, that drops down to $80.
And then I'm still an apprentice. I've only been in it for just about 2 years. My percentage is half. So it's a $100 minus 20, so 80
divided by
2. I made $40.
So when a client pays $100, okay, you've made $40. Yeah. So you've made $40, and we also still cover our cartridges. We cover our machine. There's still materials costs that we cover out of that pay that you're getting, out of our cut that we're getting. Yeah. And so from the cut that we're getting, again, that has to cover all of the time we put into it. And again, set up, take down.
So you're like, oh, you made $40 an hour, but it's like, well.
No, I didn't. Yeah. When you actually break down the amount of time that you put in with the drawing, with the email communication, the back and forth, do you like it? Do I change it? The
so that's why I know we can't charge you $20 or whatever. Like, that's just to explain. Like, well, that's one of the reasons, because of material and time and what else?
And so people don't realize, like, that's the other thing, which, again, we have taxes here. Yeah. We live in one of the most taxed provinces. So when that totals $100, okay, plus taxes, that goes up higher. So the amount the client is paying looks like a ridiculous, it is sometimes a huge amount, and that's fine, but don't think that whatever you're paying, that is not going to your artist. Like, it's just not. Like, the shops have overhead, shops have internet, some of them, like, so they're insurance carriers, if they're paying a receptionist,
so the location of your shop really matters too. Yep. You know, if you have a shop in, like, downtown in this,
oh my goodness, the rents, depending where you are, just your rent, your overhead, the things that break down. Usually people have websites, the insurance that goes into it, like marketing. So much. There are so many hidden costs that the client doesn't see. So when we charge, it is really not from the second we touch you with the needle to the second we finish. It's, okay, you have me for my day. And
let's talk about also styles. Yeah. So different styles are way longer. Like Robin does, like, full, like, realism, black and gray realism. Yep. He only does half day or full day sessions because
you can't get people enough detail in an hour.
No, he's like a printer.
Work from bottom up. Yeah, but different styles. Like, even if I have somebody who's not sure if they want to go black and gray or color, I do both. So I do both black and gray and color. If they're not sure, I say, okay, so I'm going to give you, and we do estimates. When we do a quote, it's estimated. It's estimated on a few factors, like you just said, the style that we're picking. The amount of detail that's in it, even the placement on the body. A piece on ribs or a piece on neck, a piece on is going to be more difficult in terms of its placement, in terms of even how we have to maneuver.
How many breaks you have to take.
How many breaks you have to take on the forum. Yeah. So all of these factors kind of go into the pricing behind the scenes as well. So we kind of have these ranges. We have these, see where we work, we kind of have a range of what we can do, and it's always an estimate. Yeah. We try to estimate enough that you're never hit with a, oh my God, it's going to cost more. Yeah, that's not what I was
expecting. Or people who bring the exact amount, and they're like, oh, there's tax, I didn't realize. Yeah. So I always forget to tell people, like, plus tax, because a lot of places don't charge. No.
So it's exactly. So we kind of have these ranges, and please just know that whatever we tell you, for the most part, is going to be an approximate estimate based. Because again, if I quote them the same tattoo, one in black and gray and one in color, but it's the same tattoo, same placement, same everything, it's going to take me longer to do it in color.
People do not realize that. Yeah. And let's talk about, like, people's skin reactions.
Oh my,
yeah. So
I have a great story about that.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a story about this?
Go ahead.
So when I was starting out, it was funny because they were actually former students of mine that were now of age. They were in their 20s. So that tells you how long ago I was teaching. But I had two sisters, and they wanted the exact same tattoos. So the matching twinning tattoos. And so it was two symbols. Same tattoo, same material, same placement, same everything, inside forearm.
Oh, no.
It took, are we breaking the place again?
Okay, I'm not touching it.
One of them took me 45 minutes. The other one took me over 2 hours. Same placement, same size.
Sometimes
it was
the ink just will not go into the skin.
It was just the difference in consistency of the skin. It wasn't even like different locations. They both had inner forearm. Almost
some skin's tougher than other skin. How hydrated you are.
It was such a great lesson for me because I'm going,
oh,
wow,
anything can happen.
And it was side by side, right? You know, and it was. So I'm going, okay. Some people's skin. It's funny, we have this saying at work, like, oh, the ink goes in like butter. Yeah. Like, you know, when you pull a line,
your skin
and it's just like,
been tattooed.
Oh. Yeah. And then there's some where you're like,
holy crap!
I'm gonna have
adjusting
to pull.
Your machine. Is there no ink in my needle?
Voltage
like what?
Needle. Yeah, and just
am I pulling the line?
And everyone's
that was so scary at the beginning. Like one of my first tattoos.
You're not sure.
I was like, I called Robin over. I'm like, you don't want to seem alarmed in front of your client, but I'm like, the ink's not going in his skin. What do I do? Like, what do I do? He's like, well, try turning every machine and like whatever. Like now I know like what to do, you know. But like I was like,
I had one of the same.
I'm like, oh, that's the stencil. Like, that's not a line.
So I had one of the exact same moments right at the beginning of my career with Robin where I literally pulled him into the back room and I went, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah, what do I do?
I'm like, okay. I'm like,
So
I've upped the voltage. I've changed the needle. I figured sometimes like the needles just don't work or don't click in. I said, like everything I could think of. I'm stretching the skin. I'm doing the 3-point stretch. And I'm like, I'm having to pull every line. He's like, yep.
That happens.
He's like, it happens.
That's
the
worst when he's like,
I'm like, okay, but what do I do? And he's like, you're good. Yep, just keep going. I'm like,
yeah.
And because I don't ever want to, like, my biggest fear is
he just believes in us so much. It's annoying.
Oh, to have somebody who believes in us so much. Yeah, fuck you, Robin, for believing in us. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, but he's pretty good about that. Where like if I'm spinning, he's like, yeah, it's fine. Or when he walks by and just goes, I'm like, words.
The Robin nod of approval.
The Robin nod of approval. All right, so we've talked about time, detail, the style that you're going to go with.
Yeah.
Trust that everything's an estimate, at least at the beginning.
Color versus not color.
Realism versus not realism. Yeah. Can we talk? I know this is maybe not necessarily in pricing, but fine line tattoos. When someone's like, "Oh, it's super simple.
Yeah,
it shouldn't
this is
cost
so
this
easy.
much."
It's really simple. What I want.
It's like a crescent moon and a sun.
Yeah. Yeah. It's perfect circles.
Can we explain why that is?
Yeah. Super hard.
One, why that might take a little longer than you think it will.
Yeah.
I know it's fine line, and I know it looks super simple to you, but can we explain why that might take a little longer than expected?
Yeah.
Go for it. Explain why.
Well, it's just, first of all, our bodies aren't pieces of paper.
Right.
Like, we're 3-dimensional. And, drawing, I remember, like, someone asked me for 4 hearts, like, 4 tiny hearts, like, going down like that, matching in a line. And Robin was like, no. Like, right at the beginning, he's like, I don't even like doing that. And he's been tattooing over 20 years. Yep. And people are like, it's just so easy and so simple. And it's like 3, and like, okay, 1, you can get away with like it not being perfect or whatever.
But when they're lined up,
when they're lined up and they're right next to each other, and the chance of your artist nailing, like this was like right when I started, so it was like 2 years ago.
Oh, to nail those small lines.
Yeah. So Stacey never got her heart. We should do that soon. Yeah. I'm good now. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, there's certain ones you don't do at the beginning. Like even words that have the same letter next to each other. Like if you're gonna do like double L, because if you mess up one, the other way, it's gonna show.
Yeah.
So fine line. So let's talk. I know we're gonna talk styles a little bit more, but fine line. The reason why sometimes the pricing is what it is they are incredibly technically difficult to do.
Yeah.
You get one shot at pulling those lines. If you waver with your needle in the skin, even a little bit, you hover, you wobble. Yeah. Anytime you go into the smaller needle groupings, every little flaw shows. Yeah. So
pick the right fine line artist.
Pulling a perfect straight line, a perfect curved line on a 3D surface with skin that is different for everybody without wavering. So here's what I challenge everybody. Ready? Challenge, and post these in the comments. Yeah. Print out just like a sun and a crescent moon, and with a Sharpie, like one of those fine tip Sharpies, in one motion, trace it perfectly. Yeah. And then trace it perfectly. Yeah. And see if your hand doesn't wobble. See if you don't get a little. So fine.
And that's on a flat surface.
And that's on a flat surface. Yeah. So try that. So stick it to one of your kids.
So
and then
what you think is it's so easy. It's not.
It's not.
Yeah. So
like it's so simple.
Yeah.
Like, in a black and gray tattoo, a realistic tattoo, a color tattoo, something like that, we can make up for some of that stuff when we fill, when we shade. There's room for error. If a line didn't go in perfectly, no problem, because we can go back into it when we push color to the edge or shade up to the edge.
Yeah, your artist has fucked up on you. Just saying.
Oh, half of mine have little mistakes.
100%.
Just point out there's a mistake in one of mine that still like, bothers me.
But you know what? Like even me, like okay, that could have been like more shaded, but that's what I love.
We're not printers.
No, we're not printers, and I'm like, human. I'm not worthy to my artist, but I'm like, I like that I can see a tiny spot where it's not super saturated. It makes me feel better.
We should do an episode where it's all the little tattoo mistakes, like they're gonna happen.
Yeah.
But in fine line,
you should never notice that they messed up, in their behavior. But
like you would not be able to really spot. Like mine aren't big mistakes, but when I point them out to you,
because you're an artist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm thinking fine line. If somebody's charging you, like if somebody's like, well, why are you charging?
Yeah, it's just two
this
lines.
much
why
for this? Because
it's also the materials that are the same, whether you're getting an hour's worth of tattoo or you're getting two lines. The materials are the same.
So difficulty is a big one.
Yeah.
So your artist, that was another point that we had, was how much experience your artist has
paying
is
for their
going
experience.
to play into. So if somebody can work really well and really fast, they might be able to do something quicker than somebody starting.
Yeah.
Does that mean they still deserve less because they can still do something efficiently and quickly? Like there's a certain amount of time that's going to go into every tattoo because it just is. But I know some artists that work faster than others. I know some that can get color in deeper and faster than, and
so
but does their experience shouldn't be held against them in terms of what they charge.
People will be like, look, I got this done. Like
Robin, it took 2 hours.
Yeah. Look, you did it in 2 hours. It's like
half the time
if it's done amazing, cool. But like a lot of the time it's like what you think is a great tattoo, you're like, it looks like it was done quickly.
In 2 hours.
Yeah.
We have we look at, like, a lot of people don't have the artist eye necessarily to look at something and see that it wasn't really well done or that there were corners kind of cut on that stuff. That's the other thing is when somebody's walking in and somebody's charging $50, I'm like, what are they cutting on? Mm-hmm. Like if they're charging $50 or $100.
Well, that was the next point that I wanted to talk about too.
That was my segue.
Exactly. Exactly is how they're cutting corners. Because there are people who are doing these cheap ass tattoos. How? How are they still in business? How are they making a living? Well, first of all, they have tons of clients because people don't care. They just want cheap tattoos for the most part.
This is part of what's driving me crazy because we see them a lot. And like you and I talk about this a lot where we're seeing really not great tattoos go out there and people seem very satisfied with that. They're satisfied with mediocrity. And
because like, I'll quote Robin here again, people, because I'm like, how can they look at this and be like, this is awesome?
I know.
People will be impressed by something that they can't do.
That's true.
So if they can't do it and like I can't do that tattoo, so wow, and it's true.
Yep.
But it's just like sometimes it's like, okay, it's obvious that like,
it's not great.
Yeah.
And we end up fixing a lot of those when people kind of come to the realization. So a big part of what I do now is revamps, cover-ups, or just reworks, going back over things that work. Those. I do. I really. It's funny because I really do love reworking old tattoos.
Yes.
Getting them back to like what they should have looked like, or what they did look like 20 years ago.
If your tattoo's faded, you've had it for a long time or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so let's talk about how they could be cutting costs, like why they're cheaper.
So just machine cost. Okay. So
they're not a legitimate business, maybe.
Let's start with that.
Number one.
But cutting costs in certain areas, we'd mentioned kind of about the aftercare and stuff like that, is the using cheaper products for aftercare, using cheaper inks. If anybody's ordering anything from Amazon or stuff like that, which is not regulated in the industry, then I would be very worried about what's going into this is going into your skin forever.
Yeah.
Like forever. It is permanent.
And even if you do ink back in the day,
or crushed up beetle shells for red. And I learned about that in a chemistry course at McGill that I took, where it was like where inks came from back in the day. Like it was cochineal shells.
They had to use like natural things.
See, there you go. My education serving purposes even in this industry. But using cheaper products.
No bed coverings.
Yeah. Look at the prices of machines.
Mm-hmm.
I could go on Amazon right now. I'm pretty sure I could find a machine for about $60, $70.
Yeah.
Not sure how well it would work.
Yeah.
But I just upgraded my machines.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just upgraded from what I'd been using for a long time, which was a really good machine, to kind of a much higher end one. Mm-hmm. And so it's a series of 3 machines.
And you've noticed a big difference in your
my
work.
Goodness. Yeah, so it comes in a series of 3.
So that's a hidden cost that you're not seeing as the client, but like she's using
I'm going to throw it out there. So
how much?
Yeah, so my first machine that I ever got, like a decent machine, was the Cheyenne Sol Nova. And at the time, it was $1,300 I think plus taxes. Mm-hmm. Now I just upgraded to the Bishops because Robin kept telling me try the Bishop, and I'm going,
I can't afford
it. I want to, but I'm terrified because if I want it, then right now it's not a cost that, kids need clothes and food.
And with the Bishop, you have to buy the like liner, shader, and
it's a series of 3. So I ended up getting 2 out of the 3 for most of what I do. So just the liner. Okay, so just the liner that came with the battery pack, because the battery pack isn't even included for the other one. So
battery's not included.
Battery's not included.
Yeah,
and just the batteries are like $300. So the machine itself was $1,800 plus taxes, plus the battery pack, plus, there you go. And now we have the grips. So it's disposable grips. So I'm not rewrapping the same grip. So every grip I put on my machine, and I'm using 2 machines, costs about $2 per grip. So that's an extra $4
off of the total of your bill.
Off the total, exactly. So just the grips that I'm using. But so
that adds up over time.
So almost $5,000 in hardware just for the machines.
Yeah.
Not my inks. Yeah. Inks, now a little bottle of 2 ounces is... No, I think the last time I looked was about $30 for colored ink. Like, it's my first set of inks that I bought. Like, it was a series of color was $1,700. Like, you don't think about the hidden costs. Yeah.
So, and I'm sure a lot of artists out there are using cheaper materials.
Yep.
So that's
or also not. The other thing I've seen is where it's old expired inks. I actually saw this at a shop.
Oh yeah.
The inks were expired.
Oh.
But if you haven't made it so they don't throw them away. Us, like, if it's expired, it's not going in your skin.
Of course.
But, so things like that, they can cut corners that way.
Yeah.
The not wrapping the bed, the not doing the aftercare, the not,
So when we see, like, in the, like, community pages, because we always get tagged in, like,
oh, my friend. Yep.
I need someone to do this for cheap.
Have you ever noticed?
I need a professional. Yeah. I want a really good tattoo, but not to pay too much. If that should not be in the same sentence,
It shouldn't. Okay, I love telling my clients this. How much did you pay for your cell phone?
Yeah.
How much did you pay?
I don't know. It's contract, but like it's probably like about $1,000.
Your iPad, your computer, your car, $40,000 to $60,000 unless you're.
I always use my hair. I get my hair done. It's $300, and it's every 4 months. I have to go back for my highlights and stuff like that.
So all of these things that are not going to last.
Yeah.
So
and then I have to charge my client like $150, and I'm like, I'm really sorry. Is this okay? Like,
we still need to get. We're still not over that.
I know.
I still have a hard time.
I try in practicing again a muscle that you need to like. Yeah. Don't apologize. Like,
I know. I'm still bad at that.
Yeah.
I spent so many years doing stuff for free for everyone. Like it's hard to switch into business mode.
Yeah.
But think about it. You spend $60,000 to $80,000 on your car. You house stuff, repair stuff, your phone that you're going to change, every 3 years, 4 years maybe? Mm-hmm. Like some people change every year, but that's $1,000. And it's something you're going to use for a year. Your artwork is going to the grave with you.
Yeah.
It is the only thing that's going to the grave with you. And so if you divide whatever I just charged you for that piece, divided by the amount of time you have left on this earth, that's what we mean by it's the price of permanence.
Yeah.
I have a great story about this. Can I share it a little bit?
Yeah.
I'm going to try and tell this story without crying. So this is my last little story about why this matters. Robin had this client, and he had a degenerative disease, and it was getting worse and worse and worse. But he was getting tattooed all the way throughout. He would come in his wheelchair. He was an amazing human and an amazing soul. And when he passed away, we were invited to the funeral, and his family welcomed us, and they're like, you're the artist. And they had all of his tattoo artworks on display around him at his funeral. Wow. And he was on display with all of his tattoos exposed because it told his story. Yeah. I have never been so moved and so humbled by that experience about how much what we do means. It told the story that he couldn't tell. He has a book out. I'll see if we can link it. Mm-hmm. It tells the story of his life of going through this, but what his tattoos meant. And I remember barely being able to breathe, looking at how it was the only thing going with him.
And it was like open casket.
It was open casket, and he had made sure, because he planned his own funeral. He knew when this was going to be. He had everything planned. He had popcorn served during. It was the most hard. Anyways, it was one of those moments where I just went, "What is happening?"
Oh my god!
But there was this entire thing dedicated to the artwork that he wore. Robin designed his gravestone and his tombstone. It was. Yeah, so I mean, the things that we do sometimes when they hit him, like, wow, okay. But those went with him. Yeah. Nothing else did. Yeah, exactly. His family didn't, his dog didn't, his chair didn't, nothing went with, but those went with him, and those mattered to him. So, and even now.
And if you want a tattoo of a piece of cheese too, that's cool.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't it doesn't have to be.
Get a hot dog. Yeah. I love doing food tattoos. Hit me up if you want a food tattoo. But, it can be that, but it can also be whatever. But,
I love the fun ones too.
But, yeah.
But again, you're getting it permanently.
But so that's just to explain to you guys, why it costs what it does.
If you're getting something forever, take your time, do your research, put some money aside for it. Pick a good artist that's worth their time.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
like sometimes cheaping out is not the best
Exactly.
thing. So,
and it's an investment. We're
We
like
just did
hitting
it
our
again.
notes.
Yeah, it's an investment.
It's like if you're, it's not about getting a bargain. Like,
it's not the place to bargain. Not the place to bargain.
And we value our work and we value you. So another big taboo subject.
The one when somebody goes to you, so how does tipping work?
How does tipping work?
All right, how do we break this down? It is such a hard question.
We always say it's totally at your discretion. I like that phrase because
I hear Steph say that all the time, and it's completely at your discretion.
If you walked into a shop, brought them a Pinterest tattoo, it took them 2 seconds to do your stencil, and they did it, and you walk out, $5, cool.
Yeah, even just like a little nod
to
say like thank you.
I really appreciate it. Yep. Here's a $5 or whatever, or none. Like, but it's always appreciated. Anyone who's providing
no matter
service,
what, anytime I get tipped, it is like this. Oh my God! Like, thank you so much. Like, like there's no pressure to do it.
And some days, like, that's how we eat lunch. Like, not gonna lie. Like, when you leave, that 20 you gave me, like, I'm buying my lunch with that, and like, I'm like, oh, thank God. Like, like, but if someone spent hours and hours and hours working on your piece for you, days you've gone back and forth.
Yeah, this is what I tell people.
It's an ongoing thing. Like.
Yeah, so this is what
your artists will appreciate.
This is what I tell people is when it's a custom piece, when we've poured our heart and soul, we have done everything you just said, then yes, like I'm big on tipping everywhere. I tip almost everybody in service just because, like, I understand how difficult times are, and I understand that. And again, we were talking about the cost of everything. It doesn't always cover, and so sometimes that little extra makes that big difference because it's actually a thank you to us. So
especially if your sessions like hours, they're spending their whole day tattooing you.
So some people do like a lump sum. Some people always do just like a standard amount at the end. Some people will do a percentage. I always do percentage. That's me when I tip for even my artists. Like Robin's my boss now, and like we work together. And when he tattoos me, I still tip him, and he tries to throw it back at me every time. But I still, because it's his time and it's his work and his expertise.
Shows that you appreciate your
an appreciation,
or your hairdresser or your waitress or whatever. Yeah,
it's an appreciation.
Anyone who's providing you a service, I would say.
So there is no standard in the industry. There's no like, okay, like in restaurants we kind of know.
No, 15%, whatever, 18, 20. Yeah. We appreciate $20. We appreciate some people tip like, or they'll bring us like yummy snacks and stuff, which is super appreciated too.
I've gotten socks. I've gotten
cookies.
Cookies are cookies are good.
So everything's appreciated, but helping us pay our bills really, really helps.
Yeah. So that's kind of our stance on tipping, I think. So thank you for tuning into Skin Deep Stories, and keep telling your story one tattoo at a time.
Yeah.
We'll catch you later.